Hey everyone, it's Triple Mango Threat, and today we're going over a community deck tech. There was a tie between Lonus and Chatterfang, and so today's episode is all about Chatterfang Squirrel General. And the Lonus episode is already out, so be sure to check that one out. So let's jump right into it. Our commander is all about making tokens, not necessarily creature tokens, but any type of token. We can consistently make tokens with Awakening Zone. Probably my favorite kind of ramp card. We can sack the creatures we get from Awakening Zone to get colorless mana, but don't forget, when we make creatures at our upkeep, this will trigger Chatterfang. So we'll get squirrels in addition to our Eldrazi spawns. Verdant Force. This is going to make us a Saproline at each upkeep, which means on our opponent's upkeep as well. So that's 4 Saprolines each turn cycle, as well as 4 more squirrels. Garruk Primal Hunter. We have the option to create a 3/3 green beast creature token on each of our turns, and this, like the other cards I have mentioned, give us a squirrel when we have our commander on the battlefield. With all the tokens we're making, I wanted to go to the aristocrat approach. This means when our creatures die, we're making our opponents lose life. So let's talk about Blood Artist. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, so this means ours or our opponent's, target player loses 1 life and we gain 1 life. This is a very popular option and not so a budget option for the aristocrat theme. More along the lines of budget, we have Falconwrath Noble and Zulaport Cutthroat. These are similar but still different. Falconwrath Noble doesn't care about which creature dies, while Zulaport Cutthroat only cares about our creatures dying. And we get the added bonus of dealing each opponent 1 damage instead of 1 player losing life with Falconwrath Noble. Still, these are great cards for the deck. Now, how do we get our creatures to die on our command? Our commander is an option. Chatterfang lets us sacrifice X squirrels for 1 black mana, which is really nice considering some cards want us to pay 2 to 3 mana to sacrifice 1 creature. Bloodflow Connoisseur, Bloodthrone Vampire, and Carrion Feeder. These are all free sack outlets, so we're not paying mana in addition to sacking our creatures. And we get the benefit of these creatures getting more power and toughness to them. When our creatures die, we're not only dealing our opponent's damage, but drawing cards with Skull Clamp. While this is an expensive way to draw cards, hear me out. When the equipped creature dies, we draw 2 cards, so the squirrels that we're making, in addition to all of our other tokens, can just be ways we fill our hand again. Species Specialist. When at ETBs, we're going to choose a creature type. Now, I would choose squirrels because of all the other creature types that we are making are all over the place, so there's no consistency with that. But we're constantly making squirrel tokens, so they're a great creature type to choose. And whenever our squirrels die, we can draw a card, so this is so good for the deck, and it just gets better. Moldervine Reclamation. Whenever a creature we control dies, we gain 1 life and draw a card. What's great about that is that it does not specify whenever a non-token creature dies. All creatures we control count, and that is super helpful when drawing cards. Plum the Forbidden. This card came out in Strixhaven, so not too long ago, and I never really looked into this card until building this deck. As an additional cost to casting this spell, we can sack 1 or more creatures. When you do, we get to copy this spell for each creature sacked this way, and the spell lets us draw a card and lose 1 life. So this is a lot of card draw for just 2 mana, and however many creatures we decide to sack. I love this card for the deck, especially for it being an instant. We can use this after we declare blockers, or we know we're losing our creatures to a board wipe. Now they can have a purpose besides just dying. Now our commander is going to be heavily targeted, so consider Alpha Authority, Mask of Avacyn, and Mirror Shield. These are the best budget options for protecting our commander or any of our important creatures. We don't need to spend $5 on Lightning Greaves to give our commander protection. All 3 of these add up to $1.87, so be sure to use cheaper options and get more cards to help Chatterfang survive our opponent's removal. Speaking of removal, let's talk about Naturalize, Nature's Claim, and Return to Nature. We can take care of our opponent's artifacts or enchantments with these, and my favorite has to be Return to Nature because of the 3 modes we get for the same mana as Naturalize. It's super underrated, and it's an easy include for your green decks. So besides making a huge amount of tokens to then sacrifice, we can always save up our creature tokens to cast Overrun, which is a great budget option to help us give our creatures +3/+3, and they gain Trample. If a 4/4 squirrel with Trample doesn't scare you, then look out when we have 10 squirrels and 10 other 1/1 creatures we made from our other cards. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to purchase this deck, you can use the TCG link down below to help support the channel when you buy your cards. Thank you to the patrons who help support this channel, and you can also become a $10 patron to see your name at the end of these videos and receive an exclusive Ultra Sleeve each month. Be sure to comment down below and subscribe for more Mango content. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.